nobody's going to come and save us. Nobody cares about us as much as we care about our city. And therefore, it's really up to us. It's up to the New Orleanians to step up to the plate and really try to help everybody in our community get through COVID. So I'm Devin De Wulf. I'm the organizer of the Krewe of Red Beans, sitting here in the 9th Ward in New Orleans. I'm a stay-at-home dad, a former middle school teacher. I've been the creator and organizer of the Krewe of Red Beans for 12 years. Basically, I have a weird skill set, and I am happy to utilize that skill set right now because all I really care about is creating jobs for people, in particular musicians, because our city's economy is so deeply tied to tourism that our economy is basically ruined, and it's going to be that way for a while. And we have to really get creative right now and figure out ways to generate work and ways to raise money to do that work, and that's just what I'm good at. So I'm happy to pitch in. It really goes back to the beginning of COVID. I got inspiration from my wife, an ER doctor, when she came home from work dealing with COVID all day, and she told me a nurse brought cookies. And that created our first initiative, Feed the Frontline NOLA, and it blew up, kind of. We raised $1.2 million in 6 weeks. We bought 90,000 meals for pretty much every ER and ICU in New Orleans. And then that process, we learned a lot. So then we created Feed the Second Line, which has bought $130,000 of groceries for elderly culture bearers, and we employ younger musicians and Mardi Gras Indians and artists to actually do the grocery shopping. We created $300,000 of jobs in 2020 doing that. Both of those efforts were crowdfunding, and basically around Thanksgiving, my friend Caroline Thomas, who's a Mardi Gras artist, texted me, and she said, "Have you heard of this whole Krewe of House Floats thing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard about it." She's like, "Well, I'm getting people asking me if I'll make stuff for them." And she recognized kind of the economic opportunity, and she also understood what was happening in her industry, that the float artists were being laid off. For just a couple months, we basically, out of thin air, created a float building company, and we put 48 people to work. We raised $300,000, mostly crowdfunded, and luckily we were able to pull together a bunch of people who had just been laid off but had the skill set, and we basically just unleashed them to do what they do best and paid them, better than they otherwise would have gotten. So we were happy with the way it turned out. The project that we just launched is called Bean Coin, and it's an initiative that actually can save our neighborhood bars. They need a lifeline. They need money now. They're shuttered by the city during Mardi Gras weekend, which would have been their best weekend of the year. And then what's going to happen is they're going to not have Jazz Fest or French Quarter Fest, then they're going to go into the summer. And we all know the summer is like the lowest economic time of the year. So what we need to do is get them to the fall, and we need to inject money into them. And the way that we can collectively do that is through Bean Coin. We have to recognize that nobody cares about us is step one. And then what that forces you to do is really look at your situation, look at your community, and step up to the plate and say, you know what, the government's not going to do this. What can we do? And you'd be surprised what people can accomplish when they're given an idea or given a path to pitch in.